All right, guys, welcome back to SportZrant. My name's Will. This is the show where I get to rant about sports, and you guys get to rant back at me in the comments below. And I've been gone for about a week, maybe a little over a week on the wedding thing, and a few things have happened. The NBA Finals are going on, and it's been a very eventful finals in two freaking games. Can't believe so much has happened in two games. But I think for us, for this show right now, I want to just kind of get back into things, back into the mix. So I'm going to dive right back into Game 3. I'm going to ignore the whole, maybe not ignore it, it's probably going to come up, but I'm not going to talk about or focus on what I missed talking about in the past week with like Game 1 and the J.R. Smith debacle and Game 2 blowout. We're going to let all that be, and we're going to move on to some questions about Game 3. And ranting about Game 3, I guess. So I get from there. The big question is for me that I want to rant about is can the Cavs win Game 3? That's the question I'm posing to you guys. So for me, I think it's a definitive yes. I think this is probably their best chance, but I think they can, and I think they will. That I'm going to put it down now as a prediction that they're going to win tomorrow. And here's why. So the biggest thing going for the Cavs right now is obviously LeBron James, which side rant here, one thing I've noticed is this is one of the only teams ever that no one talks about the Cavaliers. No one addresses the Cavaliers as the Cavaliers. They talk about it as LeBron James. LeBron James, Golden State versus LeBron James. Anyways, so obviously that's their biggest tool, but he is a bomb ready to go off in the fact that his back is against the wall, which we've seen before, and notoriously when this happens, he has phenomenal games and he steps up better than maybe anybody ever. I mean, just look at the playoffs alone this year. Just Game 7 with the Pacers, he had 45 points. Game 6 at Boston was a must-win, and he had 46 points. And Game 7 against Boston to win that series and move to the finals, 35 points. So, and even Game 1, you could argue, was a pretty big game because he's coming into Golden State. How are they going to come in and take on this team? And he had 50 points. So, when his back is against the wall and the pressure is on, no one's better than LeBron James. He is Mr. Clutch. He steps up. And the pressure is on because this is not just a Game 3. This is the most important Game 3 he's played in forever, probably since 2015, actually. But it's very important because he has the opportunity to not only, the whole momentum of the finals is in this game. If he wins, he brings it back to him. He shows his teammates and his team and everybody that, yes, we can beat him. More importantly, he shows Golden State, yes, we can beat you. So that'll swing it back into their momentum, which they desperately need. If they lose it, man, beating Golden State 4 games in a row, that's tough. That's tough for LeBron even. So I don't see that happening. I think he knows his back's against the wall. I think he knows he doesn't want to get swept. And with LeBron's record and his resume, it gets looked over probably more than anybody in the history of sports. And if he gets swept in this series, it's going to be people will bring it up forever. It'll be a constant black mark on his record, more than his finals record already kind of is. This will just put that in concrete if he gets swept by Golden State in this, despite some of the other things that happen that would cause this a sweep to happen. Some of the other factors will not be brought up. All anyone will ever see 5-10 years down the road is LeBron James lost 6 finals. I believe it'd be 6 now if he loses here, and has got swept by Golden State. So I think he's going to step up. The pressure's on him, and when the pressure's on LeBron, he typically steps up. Another factor is it's in Cleveland. That's great news. That's great news. That was one of the best things I heard. I was like, okay, Game 3's in Cleveland. They're 8-1 in Cleveland. This is great news for them. On the other side of it, the most important factor LeBron can step up all he wants. We've seen that happen before. We've seen it happen in game 1 with 50 points, and it didn't matter because you can't outscore that team by yourself. No one can. Especially when game 1, arguably, they had mediocre games from all 3 of their big keys. None of them went off for 40, 45 points. Nothing crazy like that. They were all in the 20s, which they've done again in game 2. Well, Curry had 30, but the point still stands that even with a 50 crazy game, historic game, that wasn't enough. You just kept par with them. So he cannot beat them on his own. What the deciding factor is going to be is everybody around LeBron. So the good news here, in my opinion, is Kevin Love is looking okay. He's looking decent, right? His shooting percentage isn't great, but he's putting up some points. 20, I believe he's had 20 plus points in both these games, which is important. If he can keep that pace, maybe get a little more, maybe shoot a little better from the threes, then I think that'll be good for him going into game 3. Now, the most important thing is everybody else. They need someone else to step up. That is important because you've got Love stepping up and helping, but nothing crazy. He's stepping up a little, getting that 20 points. His rebounding's been better, or back up to where it was. Like he's been rebounding very well throughout the playoffs, but he had a little bit of a lull there, and now it's back up. But J.R. Smith, George Hill, I mean, these guys are unacceptable at this point. Like, J.R. Smith had 5 points in game 2. He played 30 minutes. I don't even know what to say to that. Like, he's got to either find it or they got to get him out of there. Like, this is the moment where it's on the line. Either you step up or we're not. We're done. This is game 7 right here. So, J.R. Smith, George Hill, somebody needs to step up. Even if it's Tristan Thompson, like somebody needs to step up and have another 20-point game to back them up, or even a 15 to low 20s game would seal the deal, I think, if LeBron comes in and is LeBron, as he comes in aggressive and handling the tempo like he did in game 1. He slowed that game down against Golden State, and he was super aggressive at the same time. So if he can do that while getting 20 points from Kevin Love, while getting 15 points from J.R. Smith, and, if they actually put Kyle Korver in the damn game, 15 more points from him, they're going to win. They stand a damn good chance of winning, right? Now, what that also will do is why game 2 was bad for LeBron. He had 29 points. That's a meh game for LeBron. What Golden State changed was they started double teaming him more. They did what everybody has been saying forever, is stop LeBron, stop the Cavs. Hey, you all can beat us. J.R. Smith, Hill, Korver, if you guys shoot those threes, you hit your shots, and you beat us, we can live with that. But we're not going to let LeBron James score 50 points again. It's not going to happen. So they double him up, right? They got Durant on him. Right there's Draymond Green. If he starts charging in to pick him up, they double team him. He's got to pass it out, which created a ton of open shots in game 2 for J.R. Smith. But just as everyone predicted, including Golden State, they missed him. How many open shots did they miss in that game? 19? It was ridiculous. So that's what has to change, because the scheme worked. We always said if they double up LeBron, what happens is that opens up everybody else. They need to be doing a little more to get open, but they were still finding open shots. They have to hit them. I didn't think that was a lot to ask, but apparently it is. They have got to hit those open shots. That's the end of the day right there. If it was, what that in turn does is they go, okay, Korver's killing us from 3, right? J.R. Smith's killing us from 3, right? Even if they're charging in, whatever. We got to stop them too, because now they're scoring on us and keeping that game level. What's that do? That opens up LeBron, and we all know what can happen when LeBron's opened up. So somewhere, someone on that team has got to step up. Kevin Love needs to keep doing what he's doing. That's going to help everybody. The other big key is if those guys step up, now Durant is back to guarding LeBron 1v1. And that's a couple of things here. So, one, if everybody stepped up, or someone has, they don't feel as comfortable double teaming LeBron and forcing that ball to the outside for 3-pointers, or to someone else in general. So now you got Durant's backup is gone. So now he's more liable on LeBron, having to cover LeBron, right? And when they put those two together, which they did a lot of in game 1, and Durant looked not Durant-y in game 1. Yes, that's a thing I'm going to use, is Durant-y. So I don't know if he got tired or if it was just more than he could handle, maybe a little overwhelmed, but his offensive numbers were down, I think, because it was just a lot to handle. Trying to defend LeBron and have the normal game that Durant sees just seemed a little too much for him. And I think that can happen again in game 3 if someone else gets hot. You know, if Korver's hitting threes left and right and they got to start helping out there and guarding the 3-point line, they're less likely to double up on LeBron. And if he can get Durant on his own, Durant's going to have a rough night. That then drains him a little bit offensive, which gives you another advantage. So that's another important aspect if they can make it happen. So at the end of the day, somebody has got to step up. And really, it's down to just either Hill, Smith, or Korver. In Korver's defense, I don't know what's going on with J.R. Smith at all. I don't think anyone does. I don't even think he realizes he's playing basketball half the time. Hill, I think he buckles under pressure quite a bit, but he's a little better in game 2. He put up like 15 points. Korver, I think, just isn't seeing the minutes as much anymore. Can't get in a role. He's coming into the game pretty late, like behind Green and Clarkson for some damn reason. I think that needs to change. We need to get Korver back in there shooting threes, because if you remember in the Pacers series, that was one of the big deciding factors of when they won those games, was Korver would get hot from 3, and when he gets hot from 3, he can hit those. He can nail those shots, and it's dangerous. And that takes pressure off LeBron and allows LeBron space to be LeBron. So at the end of the day, I hate to keep saying the same thing that everybody else is saying, that LeBron needs help, LeBron needs help, LeBron needs help. It's true. It is true. Nobody's wrong. Somebody has got to step up on that game, or on that team. But also, it is on LeBron's shoulders when that happens. If that happens, he can't have another 29-point game. He's got to hold up his end, too. Now, I understand his frustrations of, hey, you're getting your open shots, why aren't you hitting them? Totally understand that. But he needs to be aggressive. He needs to be controlling the tempo like he did in Game 1. We need Game 1 LeBron back. I didn't feel like he was in Game 2. So... And I'm very confident he'll be there for Game 3. So, to me, I think the Cavs will win. I think when it's at home, you know, those role players tend to step up a little better and have better games. They have all playoff long, so I like those odds. I think LeBron's back's against the wall, and I like his odds when his back's against the wall. And I think, God almighty, that team's got to be tired of hearing LeBron needs help, right? Right? So somebody's got to be stepping up. And Love, I really feel like he's going to keep doing what he's doing. He's had a pretty good string of games, despite the game he missed with that concussion. He's had a pretty good string of games. So that's my take. That's my rant. I know I kind of spitball it out fast. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you think that LeBron's going to come out and have another 50-point game? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think everybody's wrong, that LeBron doesn't need help, he needs to quit his whining? Whatever you think. Maybe you're a Golden State fan and you don't want to see the Cavs win. Whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. I will be down there responding and talking at you if you do. And go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more videos, more rants. I try to post a video roughly every day, every other day, about just general rants of sports topics. So I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I will see you in the next video.